Season 6 of Superior Angling TV is brought to you by RJ Sport and Cycle and the rest of our fine sponsors. All right, good morning and welcome to this episode of Superior Angling. I'm pretty excited for today because we are doing something a little bit different than we normally do, and that's targeting panfish. You know, it's that time of winter where your early ice walleye bites have definitely slowed down. We don't really want to take a big trip for trout, and there's a lot of great panfish lakes around the Duluth and to the west of Duluth. You know, kind of in between Duluth and Mille Lacs, so to say. Like, there's a lot of really good water in this area that's receives relatively low pressure, and fishing can be absolutely excellent. So I love getting out here a couple times a year. It's just great to put a ton of fish on the ice, get in the rhythm of having a bunch of hook sets in a day, catching gorgeous crappies and bluegills alike. So our plan for today, we're on this lake that we're on right now, has a predominantly better morning bite. That's mainly due to the water clarity, a little bit more stained water. But come like noon, it's like this specific lake kind of shuts off, right? So then we're going to take a move and we're going to move to a lake that has a really good evening bite. And then again, that's all due to water clarity. The second lake we're going to fish has pretty clear water, and it makes for a great 3 o'clock to 5 p.m. bite. So that's our plan for today, is to hopefully put a bunch of gorgeous panfish topside, just getting that rhythm of a bunch of hook sets. You know, so many times throughout the winter, you fish all day for 4, 5, 6 bites. Well, when you do this, you know, you're hoping for 20, 30, 40, 50 bites a day, right? And these lakes can definitely provide that. They're smaller in nature. They have pretty defined structure, and they're just loaded with fish. So I'm really looking forward to today. We're going to put our tungsten tamer St. Croix CCI rods to work, target some deeper holes in these relatively shallower lakes west of Duluth. Stick with us, it's going to be a good one. All right, so in terms of baits that we're going to use today, we're going to be staying small with the tungsten jig. And number one, tungsten is good because it falls fast. It's dense, right? A tungsten jig falls faster than a lead jig does. And number two, just that small presentation. It seems like it entices more fish to eat. You know, sure, you can come out here with a bigger spoon and pluck off those really aggressive fish, but there's also a lot of fish out here that aren't super aggressive. And I feel like you're going to catch both styles of fish with a small tungsten jig like this. We're going to tip it, you know, a waxworm or a plastic. Both seem to work equally as well. We have a waxy on right now. And the jigs that we're using, they're from Northlands, the tungsten mud bug and a tungsten gill getter. You know, both of these this one's 1/28 ounce and that one is 1/16 ounce. So very, very small jigs. I just like that small profile. It's kind of where my confidence is for wintertime panfish around the Duluth area. So small profile, we get that waxworm or plastic on there. You know, again, these jigs fall very, very fast. If I was trying to get a 1/28 ounce lead jig down there, it would take a long, long time. But since that tungsten is so dense, it falls so fast, you can get down to where these fish are very, very easily. So we're teamed up with 4-pound fluorocarbon on a St. Croix tungsten tamer rod. Again, this rod is my go-to panfish rod, right? You can visually see that bite. Very, very sensitive tip, lots of backbone to haul those fish up, but I can watch that bite. When those fish come up, I'm gonna mark them. I see them coming. Right before they hit, I transfer my eyes from my graph to my rod tip, because this is a visual rod. You can visually see that fish bite. So that's kind of a benefit of a rod like the tungsten tamer from St. Croix, is that you know you have the sensitivity along with that visual aspect, which is very, very nice. So yeah, we're just gonna hole hop around and hopefully see some gorgeous fish before too long here. So I'm really looking forward to getting a lot of hook sets in today. Boom, right there. That's so cool how you can see that rod tip. You can see that fish bite. This feels like a good one too. That one is really suspended, which is nice to see. Yeah, not a bad fish. Right there, not a bad first fish of the morning. The nice part about that is that took about 45 seconds to catch. So that's the name of the game today, is numbers. We're looking for lots of fish. There's definitely some nice bigger fish out here, but you know, that's a good fish. We're gonna put him on the ice. That'll be make for a delicious fish fry. But again, we're in a little bit deeper water right now, but what a lot of these fish do out here is suspend. You know, if you're consistently catching fish out of 30, 35 feet of water and they're coming off bottom, you got to be a little conscious of, you know, killing fish and their eyes popping out and whatnot. But the nice part about this lake that we're on here is a lot of these fish suspend at like 10, 11, 12, 13 feet, and they're just fine to catch and release. So, you know, we can you know, be out here catching fish all day long and not have a terrible impact on the fishery. And yes, we're going to catch a couple fish off bottom today, I'm sure of it, but you know, we're going to keep those fish because crappies are absolutely delicious to eat. So it's just nice to see those super suspended fish. And when you see those fish that are 10, 11, 12 feet down there, you know they're going to eat. So we're going to get back down there and catch another one.
That feels like a decent one. This one was about 6 feet off bottom. Oh yeah, that's a really nice crappie. There you go. Probably 10 and a half, 11 inches. We're fishing 30 feet of water, and that fish was, I would say, probably at 25 feet. And there's just a bunch of them down there right now. Probably gonna keep that guy. I'm gonna drop down right away, get on the school over here. But I mean, we just made a little move, and there's just fish loaded here, and these ones are active.
Boom. It's nice. There's so many fish down there right now. There's just so many fish. We found the school, buddy.
Yeah, I got them loaded over here as well.
Do you?
Yes.
A little bit smaller one, but we're gonna release this guy. And again, we're fine releasing these fish. There's some fish on bottom, but there's a lot of fish that are only about 15 feet under the surface of the ice, which I know 100% those fish are gonna live. Again, if you guys catch fish out of 30, 35 feet of water and you can visibly see like their eyes bulging, like those fish are not gonna live. So, you know, keep those fish, pay your respects to the lake. Sure, if you try to release that fish, it may kick away, but it's gonna die, right? So just be cautious of that when you're fishing deeper holes like this. It's really, really important. And just target those fish that are a little bit higher. That's what I like to do. Just the general principle is, you know, target those high fish because you can catch and release them if they're smaller like that one was there. So drop them back down. There's another good mark down there. Yeah, here he comes. Like I can't even get my bait past this school. That's a good pot of fish that's under us right now. Do you see him over by you?
Yeah, I got one kind of coming a little higher right now too.
I got like 2 or 3 fish coming up at me. Right there.
Mine went back down.
Come on, I wonder how this one's gonna be. It feels a little bit bigger than the last one. It still might be small, but hey, that's what it's all about. And that's why we're doing this, is just for like, you know, just tons of action all day long, hey? Like you can literally come out here and catch 100 of these in a day, and that's really what this style of fishing is all about. Just get a ton of hook sets in. It's just a great change of pace from, you know, walleyes or trout, where you tend to not catch that many during the day. So getting out here and catching these crappies one after another is an absolute blast.
There you go. I got one too, bud.
You got one too? Look at that. And we can see visibly that this one's eyes are popping out a little bit. This one bit a little bit deeper. We're gonna put him on the ice. That's delicious table fare. Busker's hooked up. This is madness. I mean, this is why. Oh yeah?
Yeah, decent one. It's still loaded down there too.
Isn't that crazy? This is a big pot of fish.
Yes,
man.
it is.
It's like they're solid from like 12 feet down to the bottom at like 28 feet. It's just solid crappies.
So I'm using a crappie minnow here. I like to hook it right in the back of the dorsal fin there. Grant's running a waxy and plastic, so I'll run this guy for now until he starts catching more fish than I am. But there you go. Does a nice little jiggle dangle down there. So when I'm dropping down in the fish here, I like to stop it ahead of them, and I'll sit and I'll kind of jig it on the spot. Try to work them up higher, and usually you can get your aggressive fish to come up out of the pile of them. Here we go, we got one coming now. Oh, he's just shooting up instantly. And that's just keeping it above the school and trying to work out the bigger fish and the aggressive fish. This feels like a really nice one, actually. And like, if you look at my graph, it is just loaded right now. This is crazy. That's a really good one there. That's probably the better one yet. I'd say 11, 12 inches on that crappie. You just smoked that. And I just was dropping down, kept it above the school, and this just twitched it a couple times, and he just came up and just smoked it. We got a bunch more down there. I'm gonna try to get back down there and catch another one here.
We've kind of caught fish on three different presentations. One would be just a tungsten in a wax worm. Second is kind of a tungsten in a plastic, like a Northland Impulse plastic. I have a lot of confidence in those, but there's tons of plastics on the market that you can use. I don't think crappies are too particular around this area. And the third being minnows, and Busker likes to, prefers to use minnows. Again, today you really can't go wrong with either. We've caught fish on all three, so it's just kind of good general practice to have all those different combinations, because there are days out here, maybe when you have really high pressure or a cold front comes in, that crappies are going to be a little bit more finicky. Today, obviously, they're pretty much hitting whatever we put down there, but there are days where they are a lot more finicky, and it's just nice to have all three of those presentations with you, because I can guarantee you that they're going to eat one of those three. So, it's just kind of a good rule of thumb to have different variety of baits down there. Color doesn't really seem to matter either on this lake. Maybe this afternoon when we get to that clear body of water, color will be a little bit more imperative, but when it's a little bit darker water like this, anything bright, white stands out pretty good down there. Pinks, your reds, those are all good to go. So waxworms, plastics, and minnows, you can't go wrong for wintertime crappies. So kind of what I like to do is punch a bunch of holes over. Again, this is kind of just a deeper basin right here. Anywhere from 25 to 35 feet, and your crappies are definitely spread out over this whole basin, right? You don't need to be in one little area. So what I like to do is just punch a bunch of holes. As a general rule of thumb, deep water, you're going to graft the fish. If I'm fishing crappies and bluegills in shallow water, 6, 7, 8, 9 feet, I'm not going to graft those fish until they're about to hit my bait. But over this deeper water, your life is a little bit easier, because you can drill a bunch of holes, take your mark and put your transducer down. If you don't see any fish, go to the next one until you graft them. Keep jumping around until you graft the fish, drop your bait down, and you're going to catch them. So that's just kind of the nice advantage you have with deeper water. Again, you're going to have suspended fish, you're going to graft them, they're going to be visible to you before you even put your bait in the water. Got one coming up right now. I'm going to transfer my eyes right there. Boom, fish. And that's just, it pays a huge dividends just to transfer your eyes from your graph to your rod tip when you're using a rod like this tungsten tamer from St. Croix, because you're so much more accurate than your hook set when you can visually see that bite happen. Yeah, that's not a bad fish. That's not a bad fish there. Look at that. That's a nice crappie. We're gonna go ahead and keep this one as well. We can see some red pigment in him. This one came off bottom. So again, we're being very, very selective in the fish that we keep here versus the fish that we release. The last thing you wanna do out here is release a bunch of fish that, give a tail kick down and float up and die under the under the bottom of the ice. So again, just look at your fish. Eyes bulging, red in the lips, red in the gills. Like, you know, a fish like that's probably not going to make it back. So watch your limits. Watch how your fish are once you get them topside, and decide what you're going to keep and what you're going to release. And you can have a good, you know, a good day out here and be respectful to the lake and respectful to the resource at the same time. So boom, right there. That's why you use a tungsten jig and get back down there fast. And these Northland tungsten jigs are just killers. Like, they catch fish. It's probably going to be another one that's similar size. Oh yeah, look at that. That's 2 fish in like literally like 10 seconds. So look at that, similar size fish, same year class, same school of fish. And that's what it's all about, is catching a fish and rebaiting, getting back down there as quick as you can, because you're gonna catch more of them. Again, crappies are fish that school up. When they come in, right, get ready, be on your game, have extra plastics, have extra minnows close to you, have extra waxworms in your pocket, because when you catch one, if you can get back down there fast, you have the opportunity to catch another one. Let's go again. Boom. Fish. Absolute throttled it. That fish was just mad at that bait, man. Crazy. It's just crazy how, like, you have some crappies, and it's a good one. It's a good one there. Very good one. We're gonna keep that one for dinner too. It's crazy how you have some crappies that are a little bit more lethargic, and then that one like came up and hit like a trout, like just boom, just violent, hey? That's what's fun about crappies, is they can be very, very aggressive and just provide such excitement all day long. I mean, it's so cool to come and do this, and Busker's hooked up with a good one too, man.
Yeah, this one just smoked it. It feels like a really good fish. Oh yeah, look at that one.
That's a giant, man.
Yeah, that's our biggest for sure today.
That one actually has a lot of girth back here too, huh?
Yeah, that's a thick fish.
Wow, and look at your jig, is like you can't even see it.
He inhaled that.
It's gone.
Gone.
That's our biggest fish yet by far.
Oh yeah.
You know, we've seen a lot of those 8, 9, 10 inchers. I'd say that's pushing 12.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a respectable fish, man.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. Let's get a little time check, because noon. What do we have? A little like 15, 20 minute drive to this next lake?
Yep.
I'd say maybe this will be our last fish here, and we're gonna pack up and head to lake number 2. And man, you can't even get that jig out.
Yeah, it's down there.
That's just like that fish that I just caught too, man. It was so aggressive. That was like the most aggressive fish I've seen all day. That's cool when they're like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this next lake, clear water.
Clear water, yep.
And that bite is a little bit better as we near that 3, 4, 5 o'clock hour.
Yep, and that's why we fished this lake. It's a little more stained, so we fished this one early, and we're gonna go ahead to the clear water for the afternoon bite.
That's a good thing to keep in mind. I don't know why it is, but stained bodies of water seem like it's better like 9, 10, 11, noon, and then they kind of die off in the afternoon for panfish. Yep. So, you know, your clear bodies of water where you have 6, 7, 8 feet of visibility, they seem to be a little bit more slow in the mornings,
right.
But that afternoon hours can be fabulous.
Oh yeah, really good.
What do we got over there? Crappies,
Crappies,
gills?
bluegills, pretty much everything. Pike,
cool.
walleye, everything, but nice bluegills and crappies.
Well, we have a nice mess of fish here. Let's get the Eskimo tubs packed up, head off this lake, jump in the truck, and get some holes drilled on that next lake. Come on up. There he is. Sweet, sweet, sweet. A lot shallower water. And these fish, so 22 total feet of water, but these fish are suspending like halfway up. A lot shallower. Yeah, that's a good crappie. Look at that. That there is a good crappie. Kind of similar in size to the previous lake we were at. Yeah, not a bad fish. Again, this depth of water, zero trouble, zero concerns in releasing fish. So that's kind of nice that we don't have to worry about that at all. You know, he's kept, I think it was 13 or 14 fish from that previous lake, which it'll give all three of us a nice meal, so we don't really need to keep any more fish. So it's good to, you know, be in a spot where we're a little bit shallower and we can effectively catch and release all the fish we want now. That's cool. That's a good start and a good sign of life on this new to us lake. It's pretty cool to come out here. There's so many bodies of water out here that you can explore. You know, over the years we've fished a couple of them, but like there's just endless opportunities out here. Here comes another fish. Boom, there he is. That was a pretty light bite, but hey, that's another fish. Look at this one. Not a bad fish, huh? Again, we're not breaking any records of size, but hey, it's good action, right? We didn't have to travel far. Nice fish. You know, a lot of these lakes over here that we talk about west of Duluth, you know, west of that Black Bear Casino line, like, you know, sure you have, you know, right in the immediate Duluth area, you have Fish Lake, you have Island Lake, you have Boulder, like those reservoirs, but I think, you know, a lot of these lakes over here west of Duluth in that Black Bear Casino area and west of there even, like they're relatively very little pressure and they fish very, very easy. Got a couple active ones on bottom. Boom, there he is. Sweet. Yeah, they are officially coming alive. They're officially coming alive as it gets dark here. Another nice fish. Another great fish. Great fish. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. That tungsten jig. I haven't had to change jigs all day. Isn't that awesome? That's what's fun about panfish is you find a jig that works for you and you can stick with it. All right, I think our time has come to head home. We're just gonna drop down and see if we can get this one last fish. But that sun is getting low in the sky and it's starting to get dark, and we have definitely experienced success today with the amount of fish. You know, we didn't come out here for size, we came out here for quantity. And you know, these lakes out here past Black Bear off of Highway 210 can definitely provide that style of action if you're looking to come out here and just put a bunch of fish on the ice. You know, getting a good rhythm, kind of get your mojo back if you have struggled to catch fish this winter. You know, look at these lakes. They're very easy to figure out. Look at them contour maps, find those deep pockets of water, and you're gonna find panfish there. And again, just keep in mind, be conscious of, you know, hooking mortality. If you guys are fishing 25, 30, 35 feet, you know, you will have fish die if they are on bottom in those depths. So be cautious of that. Hopefully we've educated you guys a little bit about, you know, kind of what to look for in a fish, if it's gonna be able to survive or not. But you know, what a fun day we've had. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. We would like to thank you for watching this episode of Superior Angling TV. You can catch us every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. You can also join us on social media for weekly contests, behind-the-scenes photos, videos, and much more. Also, don't forget, check out superiorangling.com to shop our new apparel available now.